Hello there, I'm Scotty here now. Welcome back to Take Me to the Pilot, where we look at pilot episodes or unaired pilots or backdoor pilots on your favorite TV shows. Or I guess the backdoor pilots wouldn't be your favorite, but unless they're ones that were successful, I guess. Anyway, today we're talking about Drake and Josh. Yes, Drake and Josh, which debuted on Nickelodeon January of 2004. I was there. So was my brother. We both watched it together. It was one of the. I said this before. It's one of the only shows my brother and I watched together. I would sit and watch SpongeBob with him from time to time, but ooh. Other than that, Drake and Josh was it. We watched this together, the first episode. Now, if you're wondering, Scotty, how are you watch the pilot, or how are you watch? What would you say it like that? How did you watch the unaired pilot? Well, look, the answer to that is I didn't. They don't have the full unaired pilot, just whatever clips that he or should not be named uploaded to a blog or whatever. And they're available for you to watch on YouTube. And from what I can tell, it was basically the same story, the same plot, just with a few differences. Drake's hair is a little longer. The hairstyles are all different. It was filmed in 2002, so Drake's hair is a little bit longer. Audrey's hair is a little bit different, and then you have, or whatever her character's not Audrey in his show, is it? And then it's a different living room set, and the actor playing Walter is also different. He was not played by Jonathan Goldstein in the original pilot. It was played by Stephen Furst. But when it was time to actually shoot, the pilot got picked up for series and they were ready to shoot the first episode, reshoot the first episode, Stephen Furst was not available. So maybe they weren't even going to reshoot the episode. They just went to series. Stephen Furst was unavailable, and so rather than Jonathan Goldstein. And I will tell you this, I think Jonathan Goldstein was a better choice. Although there is one scene I do like better in the Stephen Furst version, which we'll get to when I get to it. I'm just going to go through the entire pilot. The actual pilot was aired. So we start with the iconic, I'm Drake Parker. Well, hello there, I'm Drake Parker. I'm Josh Nichols. I should probably be doing my homework. I'm just doing a little homework here. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but yeah, the iconic thing that they sort of paraphrased in the finale. The iconic opening. And then we get to the actual opening of the episode where her name's not Audrey Parker, it's something else, isn't it? Walter. It's just Audrey? I need to look now. Make sure it's. I can't tell. It's muted, okay. Had to make sure it was muted. I am playing a video game. I guess I just knew her as Mrs. Parker. I guess I never really looked at her name per se. Drake. Drake and Josh, American teen sitcom. Nancy Sullivan. So it is Audrey. Her actress's name is Nancy Sullivan. So the character's name is Audrey. I thought her actress's name was Audrey Parker Nichols. Okay. I am gonna look up something because I want to get the cast right. Hold on. Because I will have to look for something later. I know one of them. Drake and Josh Pilot. Alright, here we go. Alright, well, the cast. I wish this thing would stop popping up in Wiki, because it's annoying the hell out of me. Go the away. I'm trying to look at something, and Toshi Toda, guest starring Julie Gonzalo as Tiffany Margolis, a character I think should have been recurring. And Toshi Toda, who was kind of recurring. I'll talk about it when I get to the cast. Buck. Joey Mendocino. See, the name sounds familiar. That's why I'm looking. It's a very different looking picture. There's nothing else. He's a popular actor. You take it from here, buddy. Okay. Alright, would you stop? Okay. So, I'll come back to it. As I said, you get they're making out, he comes in, he goes, hey. Use the blowhorn on them, and then Josh comes out swinging the mop, right? He's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, tell him. So we have some news. Drake hit your sister. So we get Megan! She comes out. Funny, I will point out a blooper here. In the blooper, she goes, are they done sucking faces yet? And then Drake can't get his line because she messed it up. He's like, done sucking face yet is what she's supposed to say. And so in this version, we have some news. And he goes, you're getting me a dirt bike? In the original pilot, apparently, he mentioned something about them breaking up. You know, we're not breaking up. We're getting married. That means you're going to be my stepfather? And you're going to be my, and we get the very first, hug me, brother. Which I tried to do to my brother, and he's like, no, get it. Wait, no hug. And the iconic theme song, I never thought that it'd be so simple, but I find a way. You know, the whole thing. And then we come back to the episode, and they're making out again. No, we're not. No, he's in his room, and Audrey comes in and says, Josh is here. Josh is on his way. He's like, well, I gotta share my room with him. And I asked this question in my review too, because here's the thing. They gotta share a room, but in subsequent episodes, they mention a guest room. So if they have a guest room, why can't Josh just have that room? Why do they need a guest room? Why do they need to have the guest room and Drake and Josh have to stay together? I know it's for the sitcom-iness stuff, and they don't want to have another set for Josh's room. I get it. But then why create the guest room? The disappearing guest room. No, not even disappearing, because they mention it in Really Big Shrimp. They have the guest room. Say, no, she's going to stay in Megan's room. Megan's going to stay in your room. But then no one's staying in the guest room, so why can't Megan just stay in the guest room? Yeah, so, yeah. I've always liked the line, I brought licorice, the red kind, because not many people like the black kind. He shuts the door on them. Should have brought the black kind. I like black licorice, dude. Yeah, so they start talking, and that's where he's like, the school newspaper. And this is the worst, Miss Nancy's. I like the janitor's advice column, the toilet, don't soil it. Or the janitor's, not advice column, the janitor's news story, the toilet, don't soil it. He talks about Miss Nancy. She gives advice. No, it's good advice. So Drake says he's going to go play basketball, and Josh wonders how long that is going to take. a bit confusing as to why, but you'll get there. He goes to leave, and on the way out, that's where we get it's my turn to kiss you. No, it's my turn to kiss you. No, it's my turn to throw up. Psychotic. Right? He's like, I'm going to go play basketball. So why don't you ask your brother? He doesn't want to play basketball. He doesn't know how to play. Well, sure he does. I'll tell him everything he knows. This is the only scene from the original pilot with Stephen Furst that I actually like. Because it actually shows you, coordination, not in the Nichols family. And it makes sense with the Grammy episode where Josh keeps bonking himself in the head with the basketball. Right? Yes, I know there's still uncoordination, but the fact that he catches the basketball in the first place, is able to fling it around back to Drake, but it hits the lamp, which in another outtake, which I like, laps don't. It's not a lap. I like that. But no, in the original pilot with Stephen Furst, Drake throws the ball, it hits him in the head, he falls off the couch, goes, "Coming!" So it goes, "Coming!" As he falls. I laughed at that. First time I saw it, I had my ass off. It's funny. Mr. Nichols doing this, and then clearly shows he has no coordination, but he probably shouldn't have caught it in the first place, and I like that original version. So he goes to talk to Josh, and Josh is dressed up as a woman. He is Miss Nancy. Huh? I am Miss Nancy. I am Miss Nancy. And this is where we get into the nitty-gritty of the episode. It's like, this letter's from Tiffany Margolis. Stop sniffing my mail. I do like how Drake doesn't want him to say anything, or Josh doesn't want him to say anything, and he shuts the door. But then they're both just yelling at each other. They'd still hear them, and the fact that neither of the parents come in, and especially the fact that he went to ask Josh to play basketball, and neither of them have come back out yet. The parents don't come and check on him. It's a little right. So Drake says, "Well, you know what? I'm going to I'm going to help you with this. Because, if I help her, then it's helping you." Kind of true. So the whole thing is about how her boyfriend doesn't do poetry or cook for her or, say nice things, So he does all that. He's pretending to write poetry. I do always like this, too. She's like, "Oh, I'm writing a poem." And she's like, "Oh, you write poetry?" Yeah, well, it's for someone. I mean, it'd be for someone if I had someone for it to be for. Oh. So, the one thing that's never brought up, everything that happens to Drake and Josh in this episode, her fault. I know that Drake initiates. I know. But she brings up multiple times she has a boyfriend, but then doesn't move on that. "Oh, I have a boyfriend." I mean, she does bring it up, but she still goes on the date. And there are times when she should have said something, but didn't. Twice within the episode, there is the deleted scene that should have went somewhere. I like how there's on YouTube, someone has restored it into the scene where it should have went, which is cool. But we'll get there. So he offers to cook her dinner. So, yeah. And then we get a scene that in the original pilot, it looked as if the parents were going out for the night and they had their dinner already set up, and Megan was going to mess with it. We're here. They're just, "Drake, Josh, the dinner's ready." And she put hot sauce in their spaghetti and then in their drink. So they come out, they eat the spaghetti, it's spicy. And then, well, first, Drake gets Josh to agree to cook the meal. And then they eat the spaghetti, it's spicy. Wait, spaghetti. It's a spicy, so they try to eat the drinks, but that's a spicy. So that Drake knocks over the fish tank, which is fine in the very next scene, by the way. And they go outside and they get the hose and they spray the hell out of some of the pillows. But then she locks the window. She shuts and locks the window, and they freak out. I'm like, go to the front door, unless she locked that, right? I don't know. So then we cut to the dinner date, and they're having lasagna is what I think it is, right? They just had spaghetti, so they have lasagna. Josh has made this. Josh comes out, and Drake is like, "Oh, that's my stepbrother, and he's not supposed to be out here." He goes, "Sometimes I have to pee." He goes, "There's a sink in the kitchen." I like that. So Drake getting nervous. Well, yeah, Drake, how do you make it? I like it. You know what? It's time for dessert. So he goes to get dessert, and this is when her boyfriend is pounding on the door, and her boyfriend is there, grabs Josh. Okay, first of all, so he is under the impression that Josh is the one she's going out with. Okay. So we're watching it. I was thinking, how did he know where she was? Right? How? And even if, like, you can say, oh, someone at school told him, right? They wouldn't have said the guy's name. Oh, I heard she had a date with Drake Parker. He lives at this address, right? So why wouldn't he know that it was Drake? Why did he go after Josh? It doesn't make any sense. And also, when he's threatening Josh in this scene, not once does she say, "Oh, he's not the one I'm on the date with." But no, she threatens him, "Your hamburger meat." Josh says, "But I'm a vegetarian." "You just ate spaghetti." "No, you're not." And not once during this is he ever a vegetarian, unless it was just a line he threw out to throw it out, to kind of discourage him. But he's not a vegetarian at all. So, no, now it's Josh has to fight Buck. And all we get from her is, like, what did she say? That's so romantic or whatever. I'm just like, and he comes out and he's like, "Okay, dessert is served." "Josh, I thought you had to pee." And I love this. Done. So they go to see the guy, not Mr. Miyagi, at the karate studio, and offer him $30 to teach Josh karate. "I can not teach anyone karate in so little time." Like, "There's something in my teeth?" "No. We'll teach you $30. Gentlemen, let the training begin." And here is where we get the reason why this is not on Paramount Plus. I had to watch this in parts on YouTube. If you wonder where I watched it, I watched it on YouTube. It's in parts. And to my surprise, there was no ads in between them. I was shocked. I thought every single one was going to have ads, and I was going to get pissed. Because ads take forever to get through now. Because they don't just give you one you can skip. No. You got to sit through 3 before they let you fucking skip them. And then, even then, it's... You can't just skip the whole thing. No. It's skip this ad to go to the next ad, and then you can skip to go to... Maybe it's 2 or 3, and you skip one ad to go to the next ad, then you can skip to go back to your video. You know how fucking frustrating that is? Anyway, I don't know what that was. So, they get the montage. Got to do it in a montage of the training. And it's one of those training things where it's like, well, he sucks at first and he gets better at it, right? But the reason that it's not on Paramount Plus is because they use a song by Lenny Kravitz. Now we dig in. We're gonna have ourselves a good time. That song. And it still doesn't make any sense. Why is it not on Paramount Plus? Because for the DVD, which I used to have, I want to get it back. It's a little expensive, like $20. Which is not that bad, but still. They replaced it with a different audio track. And yet, they couldn't use that audio track to put it on Paramount Plus unless they don't And the only thing I can think of is they don't actually have another copy of that version. The only one they have is the original version. And they only made that for the DVD, and they don't have another copy of that. Which is why. But, no, it's a classic training montage, and yeah, who's a little girl now? As she says at the end, and yeah, he gets better. I always like the transition of Drake watching and then going, drinking the soda. And then, yeah, that's about as much as $30 we're getting him. And then we get, you boys like chicken tenders? I like chicken tenders, man. Give me some barbecue sauce, with some honey mustard. Dude. I mean, this guy was supposed to be a recurring character, at least in the first season. He has come back for the episode First Crush as the owner of the Brew Note, a musical coffee restaurant. Musical coffee shop or something. And I think he was supposed to continue, but they dropped him after the first season. Same thing with Drake's original band, who is not in this. Which leads to the running joke from Helen, Drake Parker and his band, whose names I do not know, because they change it every time you see them, basically. Anyway, so now it's time for the big fight, and Drake's plan is for Josh to just sort of move around and outrun Buck until Buck gets tired. I should mention Buck is played by Joey Mendocino. I saw that on the thing. In this scene, though, you can see an early appearance from Eric without Craig. There are two other nerds there that make a bet. And just before you get ready to fight, the song's going to play again, but then Buck, one shot, knocks him out. Says, come on, Tip, let's go get some sorbet. And then we cut now to the apartment, to the room. Josh got a black eye. Why is it whenever they do black eyes in shows, they look purple? This one looks purplish. And Josh is mad because he can't find his Miss Nancy costume. Outfit, whatever. Drake's like, I hit it. You don't need it to give good advice. I told you, Drake, I do. No, you don't. I do. You don't. I do. Question. If someone told you that you needed a dress to give good advice, what would you say? Drake, what would you say? I say that's stupid. I'd say good advice comes from with what's inside, not what clothes you wear. That's stupid. No, it's not. No, it's dumb advice. No, that's good advice. What was that? I said it's good advice. Well, look at that. You just gave good advice, and you're not wearing a dress. I did. I gave good advice. I gave good advice while wearing pants. Praise be the pants. Oh, no. May I? Hug me, brother. And you had the hug, and the end. We get in the credits, the scene that was deleted. And I was getting confused because they deleted these scenes from the episode, but then they put them in the end credits. So why can't you just put them in the episode? What is the point? It's still the same runtime with these in there. What happens is after Josh is knocked out, Tiffany says, he's like, how could you go on a date with him? Oh, it's not him. It's the other guy. Huh? And he punches him. And like I said, somebody on YouTube had put that together. So, yeah. That's the only time in this scene is the only time she mentions something. She doesn't mention it earlier when he threatens Josh. No. It's here that she says something. It was in the context of the actual episode. She never says a thing. So Drake got off scot-free. But if this was actually supposed to be part of the episode or part of the plot, then no, he didn't. But he doesn't have a black eye in the actual when the episode comes back. So it's not canon. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want him to get. I don't know. There you go. The pilot to Drake and Josh. They also don't have the Dune Buggy episode on there either. Also because of a music during the montage where they're fixing up the Dune Buggy. So, yeah. But that episode also features another character who should have got more screen time, but he gets one appearance and then mentioned, and one phone call that's voiced by, he should not be named, but it's Trevor, played in that episode by Taron Killam, but we never see him again. We just hear him He's mentioned, but never seen again. Anyway, so what are your thoughts on the Drake and Josh pilot? Let me know how much you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.